name is Garrett. My YouTube channel refers to me as Master.Garrett, but you can just call me Garrett. What I'm about to do right now is something new to my channel. It's something I want to bring to my channel more often, and I want it to be in conjunction with my Dragon Ball Z videos. I'm getting back to my Pokemon Battle videos and my Pokemon Let's Play videos. So, adding to the Pokemon theme of my channel, I am adding Pokemon analysis. Now, for Pokemon analysis, it's usually what YouTubers do on their channels, where they take a Pokemon and they analyze it based on its competitive use. And today I am going to be picking a Pokemon that I hold very dear to my heart, which is Blastoise. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that was a Blastoise cry. So, Blastoise. I just want to get it right out of the way right now and say that I'm a little biased when it comes to Blastoise because Blastoise is without a doubt the coolest motherfucker in my opinion. He is my favorite Pokemon, indicated by my profile picture right here. I fucking love Blastoise. I think Blastoise is the absolute best Pokemon out there. But of course, this is not about what I think. This is not about my opinion. This is about Blastoise competitively. So I just want to go ahead and get all the small little details out of the way before I get on to the competitive stuff. Blastoise, national number is 9. He's a water type. He's known as a shellfish Pokemon. For a giant turtle, I mean, he's not really all that giant. 5'3". I'm taller than that. A lot of people are taller than that. And he's 188 pounds. I'm gonna say 189 pounds. And that's more than me, but there's people out there that are a lot bigger than Blastoise, which is kind of hard to believe because of the way he's depicted in certain shows, like how he's bigger than Brock in the anime. His abilities include Torrent, which powers up water type moves when the user's HP is extremely low, and Rain Dish, which, if the Pokemon is in rain, after every turn the rain is active, then the Pokemon gains HP. And his Japanese name is, I'm going to butcher this, Kamekasu. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I don't call Blastoise that. I call him Blastoise because Blastoise is fucking awesome. It's a mix between Blast and Tortoise. So he evolves from Squirtle to Wartortle, and finally at level 36 to Blastoise. And this is where we're starting to get into more of the competitive stuff. He resists fire, water, ice, and steel. He also has a severe weakness, though, to electricity and grass, but those are his only two weaknesses, and every other type is neutral to him. So those are pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not like Blastoise. He's a pure water type, so electricity and grass are only two times effective to him, but he can still take pretty heavy damage from that. Except for the fact that Blastoise actually has incredibly high defenses. Blastoise being the turtle Pokemon, the shellfish Pokemon, I guess, but he's a fucking turtle. He has got above average defense and special defense. Those are his two strengths in the categories. And really, Blastoise is, he's got slow speed. He's got decent attack. I mean, he can hit pretty hard, but it's average, not above average, it's not below average, special attack wise, which is what you're mostly going to be utilizing. And his speed is really low. It's his lowest stat. And with all these stats combined, it makes for Blastoise to be a literal tank in this sense. Like that little animation right there. There's Blastoise in his Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire sprites. So then moving on, we have went on Smogon, was like, here are some competitive move sets that Smogon suggests, and they're all about Mega Blastoise. And for me personally, I don't like Mega Blastoise. I don't like his design. It looks ridiculous to me. Blastoise, I think, is just cool, being big old turtle and cannons coming out of his shoulders. I think that's cooler than Mega Blastoise, but that's just me. Here we have now Blastoise is stuck in the UU tier, so the first two move sets you see are from the UU tier. The first one is an offensive rapid spinner. They give him the Blastoise as his item. The ability Rain Dish, of course, is the only ability you should ever be running on Blastoise. Modest nature, so that he can dish out some heavy attacks. He's got Rapid Spin, Scald or Hydro Pump, but I would probably go with Scald, just because you can get that burn. Dark Pulse for the Mega Launcher, because Mega Launcher is the ability Mega Blastoise gets, which boosts Pulse moves and Aura moves, so Dark Pulse, of course, gets powered up. And then either one of these three, apparently, they give you Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse, Aura Sphere. In the UU tier, Aura Sphere will probably be your best bet. And then we go on to the all-out attacker for UU. Modest nature, 56 in HP, 252 special attack. As long as you give Blastoise 252 in special attack, when you want a attacking Blastoise, always give him 252. It doesn't matter what else you do afterwards. But if you want an all-out attacker, they suggest 200 in speed, 56 in HP. That way he can take at least some hits. That way you can add some HP to his defenses because Blastoise, as we saw earlier in the stats, I didn't mention this, but Blastoise's HP is actually his second lowest stat, so it doesn't matter how those defenses go. You need some of that HP, especially if you want an all-out attacker. You've got Scald or Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, Ice Beam, or Dragon Pulse. Here is where I see like sort of a fault in this. You want an all-out attacker. They should have given Blastoise Water Pulse because not only is it stab, but it's also boosted by the Mega Launcher ability because it's a pulse type move. And then Ice Beam or Dragon Pulse. I don't really see the need for Ice Beam very much, but because there's not that many Dragon flying types in UU, so Dragon Pulse I think would have been the better idea, but actually, you know what? Ice Beam would be better for the grass type, so go with Ice Beam over Dragon Pulse in this case. And then the final one is what an OU. This is an OU Blastoise set, which is pretty rare, but very uncommon. Not many people ever use Blastoise in OU. I mean, even I myself, an avid fan of Blastoise, does not use Blastoise in OU because I understand that Blastoise has his strengths, but he definitely has his weaknesses and every Pokemon has their place in the tiers. Blastoise is not in OU. So they give him Rapid Spin, Water Pulse, Scald, or Hydro Pump. Either one of those, I guess, would be okay. Dark Pulse, and, Ice Beam, or Aura Sphere. But in my opinion, I don't think they should be giving him Blastoise tonight because Mega Blastoise, again, maybe this is just me being biased, but I don't think Mega Blastoise is good for OU. Maybe it's because I have my general disliking of Mega Blastoise, but I just don't think if you're gonna run a Mega Pokemon, I would run a Mega Pokemon that's actually better than Mega Blastoise, like a Mega Charizard X or Y. They give him 236. See, there's no like EVs and defense or anything like that. They just go straight for the HP, the attack, and the speed. Except for the UU Rapid Spinner, they give him a +4 in special defense, which makes sense because Blastoise is a very specially defensive Pokemon. Now, all of these are okay sets, but personally for me, I don't think Blastoise, like, he's a great attacker, but for me personally, I don't think Blastoise makes for a very offensive Pokemon. It's really nice to have a Blastoise on your team if you want some offense, because, like I said, his attacking stats are average, but he's better for his defenses. So this is my suggestion. I only have one, even though I said suggestions, because the other suggestion I had was stupid. So basically, what I have here is give him leftovers. Do not give him Blastoise Night. Leftovers so he can get some nice HP recovery. Uh, and you're gonna want to max out these. Not really max out. You should put 248 in defense, 248 in special defense. That way you can up the defenses he has because that's really what Blastoise is all about. He's about the defenses. And then give him the rest of the EVs in HP. And I really wish there was a way to put more of the EVs in HP because, like I said before, Blastoise really, really lacks in HP. It's just not good. Doesn't matter what your defenses are. If your HP is too low, then any amount of hits can be enough to take you out. So to make up for that, just give him better defenses. Better defenses, a little bit in HP. You have a better, more of a tank of a mon, more of a wall in a sense. Give him bold nature because naturally Blastoise's special defense is higher than his physical defense. So give him bold nature to boost the physical defense and minus his physical attacking because nobody ever runs a physical attacking Blastoise. That's actually what the other set was. It was a physical attacking Blastoise. It would have caught a lot of people off guard, but it wouldn't have worked out very well. His move set, I believe, should include a status inflicting move like Toxic, because Toxic, in conjunction with Blastoise, can really give you the ability to Toxic Stall. And I know Toxic Stall is a cheap way to take somebody out, but it can really work, especially if you want to just like throw your Blastoise in just to Toxic something, anything. In that would be fine. Then you can let your Blastoise faint and then keep going with the battle as long as you know your Blastoise got to do something, toxic something, get that residual damage, and it increases more over time. Or you could run Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp, in case there's just Pokemon on the other opponent, on the like the opponent's team that you want to be crippled in the sense that they don't have very good attack, especially Steel type Pokemon. Steel type Pokemon are they are immune to toxic, so Will-O-Wisp would be better in that sense. So, but then you have Scald. Scald comes in because it could also be your it could be the thing that burns stuff. If you're really fishing for a burn and you don't have Will-O-Wisp and you have Toxic instead, Scald can help you get that like a 30% chance to burn, I think. Scald is pretty good. Plus it's a stab water type move. And I think it really helps out because you need at least one attacking move on a defensive Blastoise. And then give it Protect, just throw Protect on there because better with the Toxic Stalling. If you just want to throw your Blastoise in, Protect, Toxic Stall. I mean, you'd be good. That's it. That's all you need. Protect just in case you want to see what your opponent's going to go for, scout, and like I said, just it's better for the protect is what I'm really getting at. And then you have Rain Dance. Rain Dance is optional. Rain Dance for the ability that you should always be running on Blastoise, Rain Dish. Rain Dish, like I said before, every time Rain is active, you can heal after every turn your Pokemon with Rain Dish gets a little bit of HP back. So, in conjunction with Protect, Leftovers, Rain Dish, your Blastoise is getting at least probably around 15% HP back every turn, which is awesome. But if you want, there is a different move you can run instead of Rain Dance. On your team, if you really want to like give your Blastoise that full-on wall, you could have a Pokemon with Damp Rock and Rain Dance, and then just set up Rain Dance and switch out into your Blastoise. And then instead of having Rain Dance on your Blastoise, you could have Ice Beam. Ice Beam covers a lot of bases. It takes care of Grass type Pokemon, um, Grass type Pokemon, Flying type Pokemon, Dragon type Pokemon. It really covers a lot of bases, and it would be nice to have at least a bit more coverage rather than having your only attacking move be Scald. But that's really how Blastoise functions. I mean, what I mean to say is like Ice Beam would only be effective. It's not going to be a super effective thing. Like if you use it on a Grass type Pokemon, it's more than likely not going to KO that Grass type Pokemon if the Grass type Pokemon is at full HP. Simply because of your EV spread, you have nothing invested in special attack. This Blastoise is solely about walling an opponent. So if you want anything at all to like be able to just completely block off this Pokemon's ability to like fuck with you, I personally suggest Rain Dance over Ice Beam because at the end of the day, having Ice Beam is very situational. It depends on what situation you're in for Ice Beam to actually work. So like that's why it's in parentheses. That's why Will-O-Wisp and Ice Beam are in parentheses. They're optional, but I prefer the ones that aren't in parentheses over the ones that are. So Toxic Skull, Protect, Rain Dance, and then you have Rain Dish, of course, the final thing I'm mentioning because Rain Dish is the ability you should always run on Blastoise. You should never have Torrent Blastoise because it doesn't make any sense. Why would you ever run Torrent Blastoise? You don't ever want your Pokemon to be at low HP. And it doesn't matter if it's at low HP and then he gets a boost in his water type attacks. It's like 1.2 times the water attacks. I mean, it just doesn't play out very well. It's not even like you're going to be able to do anything with it. Blastoise's speed is too low to even outspeed every thing on the other opponent's team to even make Torrent work. So yeah, that's my suggestion. So pretty much just to like conclude things off here, I'd like to say that while Blastoise does have his strengths in a battle, like I said, with the walls and stuff, I really think that's a very solid Blastoise set. He does have his problems, which is very unfortunate. Blastoise is very bulky, but on the flip side, due to his like certain stats, like I said, the HP and the speed are very low. The speed is what can really bite you in the ass. To get any kind of momentum going with your Blastoise is almost nearly impossible to do. For one thing, one of the reasons you would ever switch out a Pokemon into Blastoise is because the Pokemon you're switching your Blastoise into, you want that Pokemon toxic. So you toxic the Pokemon with your Blastoise, but I guarantee your Blastoise will only be able to live one hit from a Thunder, regardless of your special defense, because that's just how Blastoise functions. Thunder and grass type attacks, I'd say electric attacks are your biggest worry against Blastoise because a lot of electric Pokemon run very, excuse me, very high special attack or physical attack, depending on the electric type move. And not to mention, um, because of his generally low speed, faster Pokemon are going to be able to faster out, you know, KO your Blastoise, and especially Pokemon that can just straight up toxic you. Because, like I said, Blastoise's HP is low, so toxicking a would Blastoise would pretty much it would create a residual damage that would, after every turn, Blastoise's HP would dwindle all the way down to zero unless you switched out. But by that point, after a Blastoise is toxic, it's almost useless. Because of its low HP, it would just get knocked out much quicker than a Pokemon with high HP would, like Chansey, per se, or Blissey. And of course, his attack, nobody is ever going to rely on a Blastoise's physical attack because while one of his main moves or signature moves is Skull Bash, nobody's ever going to run Skull Bash because it's not a very useful move. It's not even stab. Defense, special attack, like I said before, is average. And running Scald and Ice Beam, you're not going to be looking to one hit KO a Pokemon with a Scald or an Ice Beam because you're just trying to dwindle down your opponent while you're trying to endure their attacks, which is why you have Protect to get better the leftovers. And then there's Rain Dish, which comes in and tries to. You can try to set up a Rain Dance, but with Blastoise, you can Toxic, and then you can Rain Dance. This is what I recommend. Toxic first, Rain Dance later. It's that way, instead of Rain Dancing first, you give your opponent the free option to fuck you over. And Blastoise may be your only Pokemon benefiting from a Rain Dance. So to have a Rain Dance set up first and then have your Blastoise knocked out before it can even toxic the opponent, then that makes for a very unfortunate case because now you don't have any toxic, you don't have any Pokemon that knows toxic that was able to get rid of or at least toxic your opponent. So that happened, and so those are pretty much Blastoise's weaknesses. Um, I don't want to go over Mega Blastoise because, like I said before, not a whole lot of buffs in Mega Blastoise stats. So yeah, not a whole lot going on there. So that was my analysis of Blastoise and what I think of Blastoise in the competitive field. Those are the sets I'd like to run on Blastoise, and those are Blastoise's strengths and weaknesses. I hope anybody that enjoyed this or watched this enjoyed it and would actually enjoy seeing more. I would like it if anybody that saw this gave me feedback, positive or negative. I enjoy both. And then, tell me if you liked it, tell me if you thought I did okay, and tell me if I should do more. And yes, I know my profile picture is pretty shitty, but it was the best I could do. Best kind of originality I had. So I definitely also, don't forget to give me suggestions. If you feel like giving me suggestions for a Pokemon I should do, I'll do it. I have my own ideas for the Pokemon I'll be doing. Like the next episode, I plan on doing another Pokemon that I think really deserves more spotlight. But until then, I'll see you later. Bye.